Welcome back to another episode of the Fifth Quarter Podcast. Sorry, guys, didn't give you my normal intro. I forgot something last minute and I was running. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. See, we got some views already coming in on a special Tuesday night episode. So appreciate you guys who are locked in with the Fifth Quarter Podcast, caught us online, and decided to join us. If you guys haven't done so already, because this is a special night, we're going to ask you guys to be even more involved and please share this broadcast. Share it
Yes.
to your favorite Facebook group, share it to your personal page if you like, but let the people know that we are live and active on a Tuesday night. As you can see, got a special guest joining us once again. So, since Amanda's been joining us, we've been winning. So, as Cowboys fans, we're all superstitious, so we don't want to mess up what's working. So, Amanda is back again, and she'll be back
Yeah.
until the Super Bowl.
Right, that's
Apparently.
right. The Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah,
It's so funny, and there's another reason it's on a Tuesday night is because Marcus is busy tomorrow, and I said, "Well, we have to do a show. It's working."
yeah.
I told him if we lost and I wasn't on the show, I'd be like frustrated because it might be my fault. So
Yeah, I
superstitious
forgot
people.
that they were playing Thursday. I was gonna do it Thursday, but then you reminded me the game is Thursday. So yeah,
It's okay. Hey, I'm happy to be here after a wonderful span of 5 days.
absolutely. Joining us in the chat is Special Potion, longtime follower. Thank you for joining. Also got Keith Smith joining us. Keith Smith, appreciate you
Welcome.
joining us as well. Uh, Views are going pretty high. So for those of you who are watching, get in the comments. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, how long you've been a Cowboys fan. Ask us any questions or comments about the Cowboys in general, last week's game, what to expect this week, even though we are going to go over everything. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube and X, if you get a chance, make sure you come over to Facebook, type in DC4L. This is one of the largest Cowboys Facebook groups on social media. I can promise you it's definitely the most regulated. We have a large team of admin who make sure that we make this a safe space for all Cowboys fans. So if you want to air your grievances, you want to learn more about the Cowboys, you want to be involved with trivia questions, fantasy football, things of that nature, join us over at DC4L. It's an active group, and we look forward to having you.
We do it
Um,
all.
do
Do it all.
everything Cowboys and football related. We got Lamont Roscoe Sr. joining us, 60 years strong, Dallas Cowboys fan.
Welcome.
Appreciate you joining. For those of you on Facebook, I know you guys are active in the DC4L Facebook group, but we also have a YouTube channel as well. So if you guys can get a chance, go to YouTube, take a few seconds, type in DC4L, hit that subscribe button. Also find me on YouTube at Bluff City Cowboys. So we are celebrating another Victory Tuesday this time as the Dallas Cowboys defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. So in the past 2 weeks, in a span of 4 days, we defeated both 2024 participants in the Super Bowl. So we got a lot to be proud of
Very
and
much.
happy about as Cowboys fans right now.
In fact, I think we made history, the first team to ever do that.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
First team ever.
breaking all
And
sorts of records.
I know a lot of people the past 2 weeks, oh, it was the Raiders, it was the Eagles, it was our Super Bowl. They didn't come up for it. This game for the Chiefs meant everything.
Yep.
Their record is, I think their record's worse than ours now. Aren't they 7-6 or 6-7?
6 and 7. Oh,
Six and,
sorry. Didn't know what my son's always doing that, right?
I
So
set myself up for
7,
that
you
one.
set yourself
But
up.
yeah, so they had a
Um,
lot to play for. Their playoff life is on the line. Must win situation. Pat Mahomes put on a Pat Mahomes type of performance, and we still pulled the game out at the end.
the dynasty has ended.
Yeah, and the Cowboys had a part in shutting it down.
I really do think that I looked at the percentages. The Chiefs have, I think it's like a 6% chance now to
Mm-hmm.
make it to the playoffs. Like it really looks like they're out of playoff contention.
Absolutely.
So it's
Yeah,
nice to be the one to send them home.
yeah. Denver's running away with it, so they definitely won't win the division. And we need the Chargers to win a couple of games, so we hope they stay in it as well.
You mean Trey Lance? You mean Trey Lance? I never thought I'd be counting on Trey Lance
I
to do
know,
anything. Oh man,
at least for this week.
at least this week.
All right, so while we're talking about that, before we really get into the show, let's talk about the Cowboys and their playoff chances because we've got quite a streak going, but still got a long way to go to guarantee that that last playoff spot. So I found this chart, and shouts out to Dom over at Pick Six Sports. He was in a chat with me, and he shared this nice, pretty chart that he found on Reddit that just describes the Cowboys' chances of making the playoffs. So, if we win out, in order for us to make the playoffs over the next 5 weeks, we'll need the Eagles to go 3-2 or worse. And then the Bears have to go Bears, Packers, Niners have to go 2-3. Bears, Packers, Seahawks have to go 2-3. Sorry. And the Niners have to go 2-2. So still a tall task, but I think it's definitely possible. The teams I'm looking at, Amanda, are the Eagles and the Packers. What about you? Which teams do you think give us the best chance?
I think we're getting a how do I say this? I think we're getting a 2023 remix here with the Philadelphia Eagles. Everyone said they had that division on lock.
Yep.
And look what happened. I mean, let's not go back to the playoffs that year. I don't want to talk about that game. That's the team I'm looking at. And I know, look, the Bears look good. Don't get me wrong. But
we got our Bears fans in the comments.
Look, the Bears schedule is hard. They play, they play the Packers twice, San Francisco and Detroit. That is a very, very, very tall task. So those are the two teams I'm watching. But if the Bears beat Green Bay, that means I have to watch Green Bay too, because that tie is going to, that stupid damn tie. Excuse my language. That dang tie. So I'm looking, I guess you want to say three teams. We'll say the Bears, the Packers, and the Eagles.
Yeah.
But I really think the division's a lot closer than Cowboys fans want to get our hopes up to be.
Yeah, I agree. I really feel like that Eagles collapse is going to happen. I think if you watch the Commanders play Monday night,
almost beat Denver.
They're not dead in the water.
No. Nope.
Yeah. Those guys are still playing for Dan Quinn, and I think Jaden Daniels may come back to end the season just to end it on a high note. So I'm gonna put one of those Commanders matchups as a W for the Commanders. And I think Buffalo's going to be playing for their playoff life week 17. I think they're going to come out swinging as well.
I don't know. I don't want to say your name because of the specific word in it, but just so you know, to the Bears fan, actually, they're saying that there's a very good chance this will be the first time ever that an 11-win team will not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Someone's not making it because right now the NFC is, of all years for the NFC, usually we get, a 9-8. I mean, if you look at the history, someone's always slacking. The NFC this year is full of insane storylines.
Absolutely.
And there is a very, very good chance that an 11-win team misses. Because if the Cowboys win out and the Eagles keep winning, the Cowboys won't make it to playoffs at 11 wins. But if Green Bay continues winning and the Bears lose 2 at 11 wins, the Bears won't make it in either.
Yeah.
It's a very tall, interesting situation shaping up in the NFC. I don't think you could have written a better story.
Yeah, I'm really looking at Green Bay. I mean, at worst, they're gonna split with the Bears.
With the Bears, yeah.
They're not beating the Broncos. That's no question. So that's 2 losses right there. So we just have to hope.
Niners?
What's that?
The Niners and Detroit. Are we looking at? Are you looking?
I'm looking at Green. I'm looking at Green Bay.
Oh, Green Bay's schedule.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm giving Chicago the title. I
Okay.
think they're gonna run. I think they're gonna get it. I don't trust the Lions.
Yeah, I think we jumped the lines Thursday.
Yeah, but the Lions aren't in playoff contention right now. They're right there with us. But Green Bay, if they split with the Bears, they gonna lose to the Broncos. We just need Lamar Jackson to give us a performance, or the Vikings to come through at the end of the year, or the Bears to sweep them, which is not out of the question. I just don't. I just think it's hard for any team to sweep another good team in division.
I don't know. Ben Johnson starts taking his shirt off again. Who knows what the locker room might do? Those Bears are playing for Ben,
Yeah,
man.
and they finally discovered that they have a two-headed monster in the backfield. It just turned into a
Finally.
bear show.
Yeah, finally. I mean, you're right though. They have. It's well, it's not even that. It's just they got a competent coach.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
so
way it is.
the Packers are, to me, our most likely option to get in.
I really want that storyline to play out, Marcus. I think that is comedy gold.
Yeah.
The Packers with Micah Parsons missed the playoffs because the Cowboys jump them. Can you imagine?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Skip will lose his mind.
Look, Jerry Jones will be well, Stephen A. I could already see that too, but Jerry Jones will be sitting there and say, "I told you, I knew what I'm doing."
Well, you know, Stephen A. said if the Cowboys make the playoffs, he's hosting hosting the playoff party.
That's what I heard. That he did something. Was it Stevie A? He did this thing on Thanksgiving where he was the positive guy. He said, I'm gonna be Stevie A. And of course, he had the Chiefs whooping us. He said Patrick Mahomes whoop us. Friday morning was absolute amazing. Yeah. Having to sit there and just look at his face because, of course, who was it? Dan Orslowski was sitting there and he's like, "What did you say again?" Everybody's saying we're the scariest team to come up against. I'm sorry, you put us up against the people that we lost with this defense, so we ain't losing. So,
after looking at this chart, I thought the Eagles might be number 2, but I think the Seahawks have the chance to collapse. Now, their defense is playing amazing, but Sam Darnold plays bad in cold weather. That's been his knock all the way back to the Jets. He played good with Minnesota last year. Then the end of the season, he collapsed and then completely fell apart in the playoffs. They got a good coach team. They got a super hot Rams team, regardless of what just happened. And then they got to play the Panthers, who are extremely hot, who just beat the Rams.
Yeah.
And then they got to close out with the Niners in what'll probably be a win and get in type situation. And I'm putting my money on the Niners on that one. So, yeah, I'm watching the Seahawks. And I just realized the Niners only have to go 2-2. They have a pretty tough schedule.
They do.
Colts, Bears, Seattle. So I think that Seattle Niners last game is going to really dictate us in that 7th spot unless the Eagles continue to collapse.
Well, we just need Trey Lance to perform some miracles this coming weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
And then maybe a J.J. McCarthy miracle. I think they play the Vikings too. I mean, you never know. Yeah. You never know. Jalen Hurts couldn't hit a broadside of a barn right now anyway. I think I could get the ball to A.J. Brown. I don't understand. They should be what we are.
Absolutely.
I just don't get it. Fluke Super Bowl win.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Our game recap. Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day made my second Thanksgiving plate taste absolutely amazing with a 31-28 win against the Chiefs. Great performance all the way around. Let me give you guys a couple of my notes offensively and defensively, and Amanda, feel free to step in whenever you like. So we'll start with defense first. That 5-man front and those 2 D tackles, or 3 D tackles, they're in the zone right now. Those guys, at least one guy is unblockable on every snap. When you watch the game, there was never a play where a defensive tackle was not just running clear. And with that, they're helping the defensive ends to be able to rally even more. You can see the confidence in Ezra growing with just the little tidbits he's getting from Quinnen Williams. And then last week, you saw Clowney getting true one-on-one opportunities, and he took advantage of them with 2.5 sacks.
Yeah.
So yeah, the defensive line is just unblockable at this point. Got to give credit to Matt Eberflus for finally using the assets that he has in the best way. I don't know if it's going to be enough to keep his job, but you definitely got to give credit where credit's due right now. Before you keep going, had a couple of people join us. Marty Vol, longtime watcher.
Welcome.
We definitely agree. If they stay healthy, I think they're the best team right now. Everybody's saying it. I just hope we don't read our news clippings. William Wiggins made it in. Thank you for joining us, William. Appreciate it. I see the views are still going up. Got a lot of people watching from the DC4L group. Get in the comments if you're a first time person, just to
Yep.
let us know who you are. We appreciate you joining, and we like to shout people out for their support. And for those of you on X, if you'd like to go to YouTube or Facebook so that we can get you guys' thoughts, we would really appreciate it.
Yeah, and you should know too, you definitely want to stick around if you're watching this, or if you're in the DC4L group, you need to hop on to the DC4L page and get in the comments because there is a giveaway coming up at the end of the show.
Yeah, there's a
We
giveaway.
have a giveaway tonight. So
yeah, make sure you guys stick with us to the end. We're at 17 minutes right now. We'll probably be here no later than an hour 10. So just stick with us. Give us your questions, give us your comments. You guys fuel the show and you keep it flowing. I just saw your comment, Joe Foster. I'll get to it in a second. Number 2, the linebackers have been a major upgrade. Watching last week's game, I know Mahomes had a couple of good big runs, but that's just Mahomes. That's what he does.
yep.
They really kept him in check outside of a couple of plays. Overshown sideline to sideline ability was on full display. Meeting some of those running backs at the edge, stopping a couple of runs that could have been really big runs if not for him meeting running backs in the C gap. And then you've got Logan Wilson, who's become a bit of an unsung hero with his ability to cover in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
People aren't paying attention that they only pay attention to the big stuff. You got to pay attention to the little stuff too. That guy has really been keying in the middle, covering his zones and taking away some throws that quarterbacks were making earlier in the season. We got Joe Foster joining us, finally coming together like a team, like a family. That's why they're doing so good and feeling better. Definitely agree with that. I don't know if you guys watch sounds of the sideline every week. I'm addicted to it now. Amanda, you guys really got me on that.
That
in
is
the chat.
I wait for it every week. And I've watched it for years, but there's something different about this team this year. I don't know if I don't want to interrupt. Let me tell you something. I've watched it for years. I have never seen, look, I've always loved Dak. I know he has his flaws. I'm not one of those, what would you call it? Like a Dak rider, I think is what everybody, I'm not one of those people. I'll call out the flaws, but the way he is constantly encouraging on the sidelines, the way everybody is holding everybody accountable. Someone, if like that fumble a couple against the Eagles, Turpin came up and said, "Yo, that's my fault. I am so sorry. We're going to get it back." And then Solomon Thomas was telling everyone yesterday, "I played against them in the Super Bowl. They came back and beat me. Do not let off the gas." That's what he just told everyone this week because he had experience against Pat. This team loves each other. I hate to say it, but that tragedy made this team a very, very scary football team. So,
yeah, I agree 100%. And I used to watch sounds of the sideline, but like you said, there's something different about this year. You see the offense cheering on the defense and vice versa. When in years past, you guys remember, it was pretty much one versus the other. Like, who's going to get the more touchdowns than interceptions? If somebody messes up, you kind of see the defense kind of reacting in a negative way. But this time, it's really like, I think at one point, who was that on the sideline that said, "I'm glad they scored because I'm ready to get back out there again"? I can't remember who said it.
Who was that?
It was close to the end of the game.
Was it Sam Williams?
It was a defensive end. I know
that. It was. I want to say it was either Sam or Ezeraku.
It was one of them. Yeah,
they were ready to get back on the field. These guys want to play, and I think that we have to give a lot of credit to Shoddy. If y'all remember, everyone was so mad at that hire. A lot of people owe that man an apology.
Yeah.
Because not many could go through what this team went through on their bye week and still be head above water. They'd just be treading water. This team has gotten significantly better. And Shoddy holding all those meetings and stuff. Remember, he was having crawfish boils and taking people out. He was taking like the wide receiver room out to dinner. Then he took the quarterback room out to dinner. Then, I mean, just slowly but surely. And then they all got the, he's drinking a shoddy. It was this whole thing where
Mm-hmm.
these people love that dude. It's
What were they
very
doing this weekend? The pump it up or raise the
yeah,
roof or
the
something?
raise the roof. Yeah, I mean, they've got this whole thing now, and it's just really impressive to see. And I think we have to give flowers. And I hate Jerry Jones deserves a lot of credit because we
Yeah.
all really look. I love the name, I love the idea of Schottenheimer, but I didn't know how it was going to work out. I'm telling you right now, just I thought at first because I saw the potential at the beginning of the season and we struggled. And I was like, maybe it'll be like the year with Jimmy, where, that first year with Jimmy was a nightmare. It was
Mm-hmm.
terrible. And then you come back and you have that major success in the 90s. I thought maybe that's what we would get with Shoddy, but Shoddy's making a run right now. He's
Yeah.
got this team playing. So,
Yeah. And you bring up like the Jimmy Johnson. I don't want to say you see Jimmy Johnson, but you see a little bit of it when
but you do.
Jerry Jones comes out and says, well, Trayvon Diggs gonna be playing this week. And
And Shoddy
Schottenheimer
said,
comes back and say, not so fast.
hold on. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I,
This is still a competition. You just don't come in and take a spot just because
because
the
of who
team
you
thinks you're
are.
healthy. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and because of the money you made and your past history, I love that Shoddy seems to have more control over this team than any coach has had in 20 years.
Yeah. And it's definitely been paying dividends so far.
Yes, it is. And bold prediction: Rebel will get an interception this week. First one.
I can see that. This is the week to get it.
Yes, it is.
Ashley Rollins Jacobs, thank you for joining. William Wiggins says, do you watch Scooter's NFC East meetings? I don't watch them consistently, but I do watch them. I'm sure he has a good one from last week with the Eagles, but I have to check that one out.
I will too. I actually quit watching a lot of Scooter stuff because I love the fact he handled the Cowboys and I love Scooter. So this sounds terrible, but then he just got really big. Like he's doing commercials for Old Spice now.
Uh-huh.
He got really, really big, and now he's got all the players, and he's doing Detroit fans, and I just felt like it got a little too much because now I have to look for Cowboys content. Used to I could go watch Cowboys content. Now it's like have to go find it.
Yep.
So, yes, it is, Christopher.
Yeah, Chris
Yes,
Woods,
it
thank
is.
you for joining. Point 3, Quinnen has seemed like he's been the engine that makes the defense run.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, watch sounds of the sidelines. He's encouraging guys. He's giving guys tips. If a guy's doing good, he's saying, keep doing that. It's gonna happen. And then you get the little quotes and stuff. He's a funny guy, so he gives you little quotes and stuff like that. He keeps it loose, but at the same time, he's a leader as well. Two things we haven't had here in a long time. You either have a super serious guy or a guy who's not really showing leadership. So it's good to have a guy that can kind of keep it loose and provide guidance.
Back to sounds of the sideline. He was so mad he didn't get a sack. He said they were there.
Yeah.
He's an elusive little, and then it says metaphorically speaking. It's so funny the way they edit it out. Metaphorically, every time someone cusses. But it was Quinnen's been an addition that is just man, that's everything we needed. And then to find out the whole time, all this, it makes me a little frustrated. Jerry didn't get it done sooner, knowing that he was trying to send Micah to the Jets for a 1 and Quinnen Williams. They've been trying to do it since the offseason.
Yeah. Now, there were hints of that in the offseason, but people focused more on Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
But there was talk that Dallas was trying to they wanted a D tackle in the package. And that's why they went with the Green Bay package. So there was talks about that, but I'm glad it's even better for us now.
Yeah.
Because we got 2 first and Quinnen. So we still have another first back.
Yeah, we really won that trade.
Yeah, absolutely. And we still got Kenny Clark as well. Number 4, Amanda kind of talked about this. Revel has looked really good out there. He was covering Rice. I mean, he was blanketing Hollywood Brown. He's a big corner. I mean, you see the size on the chart, but when you really see him out there on the field, he looks like a small linebacker out there covering that corner. He's like 6'2", 220.
Yeah, he doesn't look that big, but he's a big guy.
And Hollywood is a fast, shifty guy, and he was right on his hip the entire time. So I think if he can stay healthy, we may have something there. And he's only getting more comfortable as the weeks progress. Last observation, just talking about Revel, I wish they would finally get a little bit more aggressive in the secondary. I mean, you got a pass rush. You've got corners that can cover. Let's stop playing them off 8 yards on first down. Let's bring them down to 3 or 4. The guys aren't getting beat. If they didn't get beat deep against the Chiefs, nobody's going to beat them deep. They just open themselves up for screen passes and quick hitches like the first touchdown Rashid Rice got. You open yourself up for that. And when you play a team like the Lions, with their receivers, they love yards after catch. So you definitely need to be more aggressive this week.
Well, we're going to talk about that when we get to the Lions.
We'll talk about that,
Big, man, it's like, I believe, okay, I preface this. I believe in one God, okay? But it's like the football gods are shining down on us because I ain't never seen so much go our way.
Yeah. It's all been falling in line.
Yes, it is.
All right, so some offensive observations. Schottenheimer, best call game of the year. Going against Andy Reid, Thanksgiving Day. The game starts off, they're blitzing the crap out of you. Dak throws a pick. They turn into a quick touchdown. I fully believe in years past, we would have rolled over and died at that point.
Amen.
But Schottenheimer identified the blitzes, started throwing hitch routes and slant routes. Haven't seen that many slant routes in the game in probably 12, 13 years. Like, he knew exactly what they were doing. We started throwing slants. We started throwing quick outs. Started sending the fullback to block on the edges. The play, get aggressive when you need to. It's 1st and 10. You're backed up at the 3-yard line, like we had been like 6 times already in the game.
Yep.
And instead of being conservative and running, trying to get some space, you throw a deep bomb to CD Lamb.
Yeah.
That's not play calling that we typically see at Dallas. And then you finally go for the smart 2 to get the game up to 7. Smart enough to go to George Pickens when he's hot. George Pickens was cold in the first half, but in the second half, they started feeding him. 3rd and long, end of the game. Give it to Pickens. So, yeah, just overall, just great play calling. No complaints whatsoever. Going against a Hall of Fame offensive coordinator and going shot for shot with him, no pun intended, and coming out on top with a big field goal to win the game on Thanksgiving. Just great all-around play calling. Offensive line dominated. Special shout out to Nate Thomas.
Man.
I don't know if you guys watch all 22, but watching that game, I hate to overhype him. He almost looked bored. Like, if it wasn't Chris Jones out there, it was basically like 7-on-7 practice for him.
Yeah.
He was giving no resistance at left tackle. It's going to be a different type of matchup this week, but last week he was our best offensive lineman in that game, Nathan Thomas. And then kudos to Tyler Booker. Just getting vet after vet after vet, all pro after all pro, and stepping up to the challenge.
We did it again.
Yeah.
We really did. And I know with Guyton, Guyton seemed to be a little bit injury prone at the moment. Just small little things, nothing major, just small little things. But I have to say, if there's one thing the Dallas Cowboys can do, it is find an offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Man. They call it, on ESPN, they called it the Wall of Tyler. They said, I ain't never seen a team be able to find people, and they're all named Tyler. So someone said, next thing you know, you're going to have teams all over the league looking and trying to find an offensive lineman named Tyler, and they can take in the draft to have the Cowboys luck.
Yep. I was about to say one more thing about the offensive line. I'll come back to it. Point number 3, and Christopher Woods, I see your comment. Flournoy, I mean, to me, he's our solidified number three. We,
100%.
we still got Turpin for the gadget plays. But Flournoy just looks like a guy who's finally getting comfortable playing in an offense because he hasn't gotten many reps. But when you watch him, you can see the confidence in his routes. He catches the ball with his hands. He's only getting 2 or 3 targets every game, but every target he gets, he takes advantage of it. There's not been a wasted target to him yet with the limited plays he's getting. And when you have a team that has Pickens and Lamb who are getting 10, 12 targets each, you need a guy like that. And when you got a guy like that that's reliable, that makes the offense unstoppable because there's going to be a point, and I feel like it may be this week, where teams are going to overly scheme Pickens and Lamb, and you're going to need that third wide receiver to have a game. Flournoy's had one of those games before this year when Lamb was out. He may be called upon again to have another one when Lamb and Pickens are both playing. So, yeah. And then number 4, and this goes back to Christopher Wood's comment, and he said Malik Davis is a true testament to hard work and dedication. Never give up, just keep grinding. Absolutely. And this goes back to Schottenheimer. We're putting the best guys on the field. I don't care if it's a practice squad guy that's had 3 career snaps, that's been a core special teamer for the past 5 years. We're going to put him in the biggest game of the year on Thanksgiving and see what he can do. And he stepped up and made the plays.
Yeah, if we keep Javonte and you keep Malik Davis, I hate to say it, but I don't know what we do with the 2 we just drafted.
Yeah.
I mean,
Both of our running backs are going to be cheap. Like,
yeah.
I know Javonte's having a good year, but we went through this last week. There's about 6 bigger name running backs who are also having good years that are going to be available. So his price is not going to be top of the market. He's still going to be 4th or 5th highest paid running back, which will probably put him at $6 million maybe. So we can get him cheap, and Malik Davis is going to still be super cheap.
Man, I think you're right. I think loyalty is going to matter because no one wanted Javonte, and
Exactly.
and Dallas gave him that chance and pretty much rejuvenated his career.
Yeah.
So I rejuvenated his career. So I really think you're right there on that. I think loyalty is going to play a huge role.
Yeah, and the money's not going to be super expensive. Malik Davis, he's earning reps. He's the backup for the rest of the year. So he's going to earn a second, his first contract this year. Found out something interesting in terms of injury reserve. When you talk about injury reserve, and people asking about what's going on with Phil Maffa. So the problem with Maffa is, and I didn't know this until somebody pointed it out to me, NFL teams only get 8 players that they can bring back from IR in a season.
Huh.
And the Cowboys are at 7 when they bring back Trayvon Diggs. So we only have 1 more injured reserve player we can bring back this year. After that, anybody that goes on injured reserve, they just have to stay there. So I feel like that's kind of the reason we haven't seen Maffa. They don't want to waste that last injured reserve spot. So I doubt we see him unless it's the playoffs, because I think you get 2 more when the playoffs start if we make the playoffs. But I highly doubt they use it for Phil Maffa. So, yeah, we're not going to see him this year.
Yeah.
And it's not his fault.
No, we saw flashes, and I hope that there's something there. You know, we saw flashes in preseason. So,
yeah. But that does give an interesting question. What do you do with Blue? Do you activate him at all this year? Do you cut him?
That's I don't know. I wouldn't cut him right now. I know that sounds terrible, but you can't risk putting someone out there that could be picked up by an enemy.
Yeah.
I know we do it often, but Blue, I mean, he had flashes at times in his college career, especially. So
We try not to think about that, Chris Woods, but that's definitely a
It's
great
just like the
question.
5th round pick for Trey Lance. It's just
Yeah,
Jerry does that kind of stuff, but we got to forgive him because of the 3rd round pick for
for
George
George Pickens.
Pickens.
Yeah, he kept chopping it and they finally got it right.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's pretty much all we got from last week's game. I mean, great overall performance on both sides of the ball. Big game at home, bright lights. Cowboys pulled it off, and it's been a recurring thing in terms of player of the week. Keep going back and forth between these two wide receivers. George Pickens had a great game last week. CD not so much. CD Lamb came back, 7 catches, 112 yards, 1 receiving touchdown. Started the game off kind of slow, but then definitely picked it up with some big catches throughout the game to keep us in the game as we were going back and forth. So yeah, great performance overall by the Cowboys offense, especially at that wide receiver position. Let me ask you a question before we move on, Amanda. I just thought of this one. And guys, if you want to make a comment on this one, let me know as well. Where we are right now, what do you think is our most dominant position on the team? Is it defensive tackle or wide receiver?
Man, that's a hard question. Push.
Because both of them.
Does that work in this random question part?
I'm almost at push myself because I can't choose one or the other.
How do you choose that? I mean, the team doesn't go without either of those positions on both sides of the ball. But I think because of the changes made and I mean the turnaround, I guess you have to give it kind of to the defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just look at we weren't winning games like we are now without Quentin Williams. So you have to give it to you have to kind of give it to the DTs. Man, we got a solid DT room.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a very, very, very close. Like it could go either way. But I'm gonna give it to DT right now.
Yeah,
so.
I think I would only give it to DT because we saw the change really happen after the defensive tackles came. We've had Pickens and Lamb this year. We did good, but now we've really taken it to another level.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Woods agreed with us at DT. I mean, tight end and fullback are good also, but they're not like pure game changers. William Wiggins brings up the point. Blue is not being used right. He should be more involved on screens and hitches.
Okay, but who are you going to put out of the game to activate Blue and let him be an active player? Which player are you taking off the field to give Blue a couple of screens and hitches?
Yeah, I'm not taking off any of our wide receivers that are active. I'm not taking out Brevin Spanford because it's blocking.
I'm not taking Malik Davis out, and because we've seen that Blue's not having success out of the backfield, and Javonte can't do it himself. We need a change of pace back. There is no one that deserves to come off the field that Blue has beat out to have that. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he's not big in special teams, and that's the thing. Marcus has preached it forever.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a chance as a player that's kind of a fringe player, you need to excel in special teams, be able to be used in more than one place so that you have more opportunities to get on the field and show what you can do.
Yeah.
And
then, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Blue's just not got any of that. I mean, it's just like, look at Elijah Clark. That man will be a starter here on forward just because of the effort he gave on the field during that Philly, fumble that they forced fumble there in the end zone. There's just not one player. Blue is pretty one-dimensional when you think of what he can do. Yeah, he has speed. What does he run, a 4.3, right?
Yeah, high 4.3, low 4.4.
I mean, we'll call it a 4.39 just to be okay, 4.39. But his speed doesn't take away from Brevin Spanford's blocking ability, and we need that against certain teams. Malik Davis is out there scoring touchdowns. Blue hadn't done that. You can say he hadn't got the opportunity, but what are you going to miss?
Malik Davis had 2 carries that game.
Huh? Exactly.
I said Malik Davis only had 2 carries to turn one into a 40-yard touchdown.
And he took the job. I mean, it's just it's a matter of making the most of your opportunities, and Blue did not make the most of anything that was given to him.
Yeah. And
Doesn't
to add insult to injury, you just talked about 4-3. We just
yeah.
added a running back to our
Ooh,
practice squad, Israel
yep.
Ibanakanda, a guy that if you're a draft head, you loved him coming out of college.
I think he had a lot. I was looking at his stats. He is a steal.
Yeah, he was drafted in the 4th round about 2 years ago by the Jets. A lot of us thought it was a head scratcher because they already had two great backs. Never got a chance to get on the field there because he was playing behind two really good backs, and just kind of sat there for 2 years and got cut. Didn't get a chance with the Niners because again the Niners are a loaded team, and now he's on our practice squad. 5'10", 220, runs a 4.3. And he's on the practice squad, which means that they can elevate him to the active roster
Three
without
times.
taking a roster spot. So we're going
Right.
to see him on the field as well. And from a talent standpoint, he does everything that Blue can do. So, yeah.
And no, it's not a. It's okay. Like, look, we all got our points. Nope, nope. It's okay. Everyone's got an opinion, and we weren't like being like raw at you or anything. It's
Right.
just it's so. I wanted Blue to be successful. There's a lot of talent there, but sometimes it's I mean, you have to look at it from a realistic standpoint. So I get it. It's okay to have your favorites. I understand.
Yeah,
Lots of
we all
people from
do.
UT. We all got them. Tanya, our co-owner, she is a Deuce Vaughn. Like she loves her some Deuce Vaughn, and trust me, she took a lot of crap. She
A
to this
lot.
day we still give her a hard time in the DC for admin chat. But she loved him. But she also knew when it was time to cut him, even though she'll never admit it. She knew it was time.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of you got to look at it from a realist standpoint, and there's no one that deserves to have their position taken for an experimental Blue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jack, you might be right, but Blue had some fumbling issues at Texas too. He
Absolutely.
had some butterfingers there too, so maybe not. Maybe not.
All right, guys, we're at 43 minutes. Let's go ahead and go into this week's matchup with
Let's
the
get
Detroit Lions. We'll start off first with some of our key matchups in this week's game.
Key matchups.
So the first one is probably my favorite matchup in this game. All Pro Penei Sewell versus Jadeveon Clowney. If you watch how the Lions play, this is a Dan Quinn team. It's super simplistic. He basically plays his team like Oklahoma drill. That's the best way I can describe it. Everything's one-on-one. He's playing man coverage on defense. On offense, there's no special inside zone, outside zone. Is whoever's in front of you, you block them. So Jadeveon Clowney, who's been hot the past 2 weeks, gets a chance to go against an all-pro right tackle in Penei Sewell. I think this is really going to be a good matchup to pay attention to. The other offensive tackle, Taylor Decker, is really good. Penei Sewell's good as well, but I feel like Clowney's going to have some opportunity to make some big plays on that side because Jared Goff is a statue in the backfield. So I'm definitely paying attention to this one. So we'll go offense, defense. We'll rotate them. So next we'll go to our offense and another really good matchup. So we talked about Tyler Booker. Jack Meeker makes a point about Clowney making it to the game. I won't be concerned until I see tomorrow, Jack. If he's dealing with a hamstring, he's a veteran. He knows the playbook. He knows what to do. There's no reason to rush him on the field if he has a soft tissue injury. So I would be shocked if he doesn't be limited tomorrow and then play on Thursday.
Didn't he just have that last week too? I want to say we discussed this last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
that's why we saw Sam Williams more in
right.
on Thanksgiving.
I'm not worried about that one at all. That's just one of those things. You got someone, what is he, 35?
34, 35.
35. He's up there with me. We're old elderly people now. When you've been doing as long as he does, it's just you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think that he's a leader too. He's not a guy who's just here for a paycheck. He's actually
right.
involved. So
I
he's
think he'll be
probably,
back next year too. Another
yeah,
bold.
I
If he
agree.
wants to play, he'll be here. He's having fun on the sidelines.
Yeah. He's
So
been on 10 teams in 7 years. And this is probably the second best performance he's had, but it definitely looks like the most involved he's been. It's not just
yeah,
him being a journeyman guy. He actually feels like a part of the roster. So yeah, Tyler Booker, DJ Reader. DJ Reader's not a household name, but he's a very talented defensive tackle. He's their second best defensive player on the team. And Tyler Booker's gonna have another long day. This guy's a high effort, big, strong defensive tackle.
I'm sorry, but I've seen Book against the absolute best now. So I know that I don't mean that to sound cocky.
Yeah.
But we've seen Chris Jones. We've seen, I mean, and he played a lot with Nate Thomas, but Chris moves too. And then we've had Jalen Carter. Book's also faced him. You just look at what T Book has been up against, and DJ Reader not taking away from his talent. Book's got it.
Yeah.
Checks
I
in the
agree.
mail.
But yeah, second best defensive player. I just had to make a note of that one because we got the rookie going against another talented guy. And they like to run a lot of five-man fronts also. So it's going to be a lot of one-on-ones between our offensive line and their defense. And outside of Aiden Hutchinson, this is probably their best matchup one-on-one. All right, so now we'll flip back to the defensive side of the ball. And this was going to be really good. DeMarvion Overshown versus Jahmyr Gibbs. And William Wiggins is just giving us all the injury reports so far this week. Says Osa's on the list, and then heard there's a chance Gibbs might not play. I hate to sound cocky, but if Gibbs doesn't play, we can wrap this one up and just look ahead to the Chargers.
Let me see if I haven't heard anything about Gibbs not playing.
Yeah, I don't see him limited or didn't practice.
Yeah, I don't see any of that. Hold on, let's see. No, that was 2024. He ain't been injured since 2024 that I can see.
Yeah, I don't see that one.
Now Amon-Ra most likely isn't playing.
Yeah.
That's the one that's the only person I've heard that isn't available, like for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see anything about that. I Googled it too. So
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see it either. But it'd be a great thing if he didn't. But I think this is the only matchup that they have against us. Jahmyr Gibbs, over a 3-week span, 2 of those weeks he was unbelievable. And in typical Dan Quinn fashion, he barely gets the ball last week. But when he's on the field, he's a mismatch, legit 4-3 runner. He can score from inside the box, outside the box, catching the ball. Overshown's had 3 weeks to kind of get that meat loose. So yeah, we're gonna need to see a little bit more of the old Overshown when it comes to trying to carry this guy out of the backfield. So this is gonna be, to me, if Amon-Ra doesn't play, this is going to be their only real matchup that they can have to take advantage of offensively, or it's going to be an extremely long day for Jared Goff. All right, so we went to defense. Let's go back to offense again. Key matchup, our wide receivers versus their corners. So the Lions just put their best cornerback on IR, and Terrion Arnold. So their starting outside corners are Rocky Asin, 5'10" journeyman cornerback. I think he was drafted originally by the Eagles. And then Amik Robertson, a 5'9" corner who has to shift from the nickel to the outside because All of their remaining corners are 5'9", and none of them are suited to play on the outside. So he's the best outside corner they have left out of the other nickels. All the other corners are 5'9".
Poor guys.
So yeah, he has to play on the outside against either 6'4" George Pickens.
George,
Six-
I'm gonna text George and tell him that he's playing wide receiver now in the NFL.
Hey, he probably could the way their secondary looks.
I wouldn't. Hey, you're probably right though.
So yeah, he's gonna see 6'4" George Pickens or 6'3" CD Lamb, and like I said, every corner except for Rock Ya-Sin is 5'9". And they play man coverage more than any team in the NFL. Remember that too. Sounds like it's going to be an opportunity for a big day for our receivers.
Ashley, I think I'm going to say this. I always love George Pickens. A lot of people have always kind of been hesitant to George, and I usually don't like the people with the big, that are real proud of the work they do on the field. George is a little ego. He's got a little ego, but it is so obvious why. I have fallen in love with the way George Pickens plays football. And I watched the Steelers, but I never got to really focus in on that. But now seeing with our team, that man is a star. And God willing, he'll be here for years to come.
Yeah. Yeah, he got an extremely bad rap in Pittsburgh.
Really bad. And now it's
yeah.
so funny seeing the Steelers fans melt down on Twitter and on Facebook. They're like, a third round pick? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Great question by William Wiggins. You're not going to like my answer.
Give it to him straight, Marcus.
So the first reason is, and this is the one that's most obvious, when Dak was here first, him and Dez played together 2 years, or was it 3? I think it was only 2.
2 years, right?
Okay, so
I thought they had him a year and cut him. Actually, are we sure it was even a full 2?
I'm almost sure they may have played 2017 together. Let me just pull up Dez before I say this. Let me pull up Dez Bryant's to see what his stats look like.
So he left. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so he played 2 years. Year 1, Dak was pretty much just told, hand the ball off to Zeke, give it to Zeke on screen passes, and if all else fails, throw it to Jason Witten. So there was no chance to get any chemistry year 1. Year 2, Dez was just a shell of himself as a player, and that's no disrespect to him. He had 8 amazing years, and when you're a freak athlete like that, you get old fast. That's the first problem. And George Pickens is getting Dak at all pro level. The second problem is Dez wasn't an on-field guy like Pickens is. Pickens takes pride in his route running. He's going to tell you, if you try to cut this off, I'm going to do this. He works on it. He works on his craft. Dez was more just a freak athlete who just was bigger, faster, and can jump higher than everyone else. There was no real nuance in his game. So once you start to slow down in year 7 and you're not the fastest or the biggest or jump the highest, then you don't look as good. But Pickens is still in his prime, and Pickens has he's a lot more elusive, and he's a better route runner. Because one of my biggest problems with Dez, and people always killed me for it because you look at the stats, he was not a good route runner. I mean, he ran fade routes, he ran post, and that was pretty much it. We've seen Pickens run pretty much the whole route tree. But yeah, I think it's more just time period. Dak's at his best, Pickens is in his prime, and when Dez was there, Dez was at the end, and Dak was at the beginning. So yeah, makes a big difference. Yeah, he was amazing there too. For those of us who were big on the draft, I was upset that the Cowboys didn't draft Pickens in the first round, even though we had CD Lamb in year 2, and we were almost on the way out with Mari Cooper. I still wanted George Pickens because he was that special at Georgia. Yeah, that's a great point too. If you go back and watch those old games, I feel like I'm gonna get killed somewhere on social media by saying this is gonna be a clip. But if you go back and watch those games, a lot of times Tony Romo was telling Dez what routes to run. Like literally, if you go back and really watch the games, you'll see they leave the huddle and you will see Romo kind of stop Dez and say something, and then Dez will go out. So it's just one of those things. He did run lazy routes, but I mean, nobody could jump with him. Nobody was stronger than him, and he could break a bunch of tackles. But amazing player. But yeah, this matchup with the man coverage and the size difference between these corners, it's gonna be a long day for these guys, and they're gonna play a ton of man. All right, so we'll go to my last key matchup, and this one is Nate Thomas versus Aiden Hutchinson. Now, you guys heard me talk about this earlier in the show. Playing against the Chiefs, Nate Thomas looked like a 5-year vet. I mean, outside of the 2 or 3 times that you saw Chris Jones lined up at defensive end, he looked like he was playing against children. It was literally, once he gets his hands on you, he basically stopped his feet because you couldn't do anything else. Just a high level of power and athleticism for a guy his size. This week he gets a different matchup. Aiden Hutchinson, one of the premier pass rushers in the league, going to be playing at home, so they're going to have the crowd early. So he's going to definitely have some opportunities to make some big plays. So if the Lions have a chance of protecting their defensive backs, Aiden Hutchinson is going to have to make a bunch of plays. I personally think the Cowboys are going to come out running the ball early and use their play action pass more because this team runs so much man. You're going to have those corners with their backs turned. So I think we're going to see a lot more tosses, outside zone type plays, leading into bootlegs and play actions. But I think this is definitely going to be a great matchup to pay attention to. Yeah, Aiden's a different type of guy. And they're playing at home. All right, so these are all the key matchups that I have. It's a lot more I could point out, but I feel like these are the ones that are going to have the biggest impact on this week's game. Is there one you think I missed, Amanda?
I'm concerned about who covers Williams. I don't know who will cover Williams. I don't know if he plays predominantly. I think he plays predominantly out of the slot, doesn't he?
Well, no. Amon-Ra plays in the slot.
Okay, so
but since Amon-Ra's out, who fills that spot in the slot? That's a good question.
So I'm just curious because they've had a week to kind of prepare for the Amon-Ra. There's no way I don't see Amon-Ra playing.
Yeah.
Not with a low ankle sprain.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks typically for that because you have to be able to cut, you have to be able to run. I just do not see Amon-Ra playing. I mean, unless they're just at the point where they don't care because of the season on the line, because we could effectively end their season too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but I just want to know who's going to cover Williams because he's shifty and he is a very, very good receiver, very underrated receiver in my personal opinion.
Legit
so
4-3 guy.
Huh?
I said legit 4-3 guy.
He is. So I'm curious to see who's going to play him. If he's moved to the slot, that'd be Bland, I would assume. Maybe Revel could probably do it. I'm still worried about Revel's speed coming back from injury. Not that he can't do it, just the injury. So we'll see.
I would be more concerned. I think Carson's playing this week, but if he's not, Bridges would be the other outside guy. And he didn't look good going against Rice the few times they got him lined up.
I didn't know Carson was hurt.
he missed the second half of last week's game.
Did he? I thought
Yeah.
I knew Revel went down at one point, but I didn't
Yeah.
realize Carson was.
They were both out for about 2 drives, and then Revel came back, but Carson missed about a quarter and a half.
I've got the. Let's see. Where is it? We just talked about it. Where's that injury report?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Oh, he's got full. Oh, full.
okay, good.
Jalen Carson had it's his hamstring. Monday
Okay.
participation full. Tuesday full.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, the only people who didn't practice are Tyler Gotton and Jadeveon Clowney.
Okay. Both of those are veteran rest type guys.
Yeah.
Well, not Guyton.
No, Guyton's
Clowney.
on that ankle injury.
Yeah, I was thinking Smith, but yeah, you're right. All those Tylers.
Even Hooker's back, which I don't, So, and Jerry with the whole Diggs things. I really hope not. We'll see. We
Yeah.
can leave him sitting down. Don't ruin the good thing, Jerry.
They haven't activated him yet, have they?
No, but we got 2 limited practices, and he said he was ready to go. So
Okay.
we'll see.
We'll find out tomorrow because they got to activate him if he's playing.
Yeah, I would expect next week, personally. That would be my
Yeah.
opinion. So
I think so too. All right. Let's go to our X factors next. So of course, always an X factor, in my opinion. Head coach Dan Campbell. I keep saying this. I still think he's one of the worst coaches in the NFL, despite what the record says. I think they win despite his play calling and coaching. I think they just have that much talent. He's basically given away the past 2 games with terrible play calls, going forward too much on 4 downs. His usage of personnel. I mean, last week, David Montgomery had, I think, 21 carries after the week before Jahmyr Gibbs just completely torched the Packers. None of the play calling makes sense. They put a tight end at wide receiver, Isaac Tesla. Athletic guy, but put a tight end at wide receiver doesn't make a lot of sense to me. A ton of stupid decisions. Trick plays when you don't need trick plays. Just
going for it when you really shouldn't be going for it.
Right.
Yeah, like Jack. I like that idea just to mess with them from the last time.
That would be great.
It would be. Get Nate Thomas out there. I'm going to report as eligible.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this is going to be the biggest X factor in this game because I've always said it. If this team plays close, they're going to lose. They have to almost blow you out the win because of the bad play calls that Dan Campbell makes. I'm pretty sure, I've never looked, but if you look at win-loss records of games of 6 points or less, I'm positive he'd be close to the bottom. I may look that up one day, but I would be shocked if he's not. So he can really dictate the flow of this game. And that leads to the next one. Jameson Williams, legit 4-3 guy. Since Dan Campbell's taken over as the play caller, he's had 3 games with 2 or less targets. 3. In the 2 games that he had more than 2 targets, he had over 100 yards. So this is an ultimate X factor. He can either do nothing or he can take the game over. And it really all relies on the play calling and how Dan Campbell gets his personnel out there.
It's so funny. Just so y'all know, we didn't talk about this beforehand. I didn't know that was your X factor. My bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we didn't talk. I didn't realize that was your X factor for this game.
Yeah.
We don't talk ahead of time. We used to, but now I just roll with it. I come in here and y'all get the winged version. But that's exactly who I would have put too. So
absolutely.
And I think another X factor could be pressure, like Cowboys pressure, because Jared Goff, when he is pressured, is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
That's why my bold prediction is Siobhan Revel will get his first interception because we're getting the pressure. So I truly think that this would be the game that he could really get up there and hop up and grab him one. So.
Absolutely. I got Jameson Williams stats up. Last 5 games. Dan Campbell took over the play calling 5 games ago. 2 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards. 7 targets, 6 catches, 119 yards. 7 targets, 4 catches, 88 yards. Those are the first 3. 0, 7, 7. Follows that up with 0 catches for 0 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week he had 7 catches for 144. So it's a lot of inconsistency in there in how they use him. He could boom or he could bust. So we just got to hope we get the bust week. But he's an ultimate X factor in this week's game. Another X factor is Kirby Joseph, all-pro safety, led the league in interceptions last year. He's been dealing with injuries, hasn't played so far this year. He has started practicing this week. I don't think they've taken him off of IR yet, but if he does play, he's a definite X factor in their offense, in their defense, because of his ability to make plays. Now, I don't want people to take this to heart when I say this, but when I watch him play, he is very Ed Reed-like. But when I say that, I mean he's the type of guy where you can tell he's super smart because he plays all over the field. He'll fake like he's gonna be in the box, and then he'll bail and go to cover 2, or he'll start off deep and he'll go down and cover the middle slant routes. So they give him a lot of leeway. He makes a lot of big plays, and he does that by confusing quarterbacks with just knowing tendencies and how to play them. And like I said, everybody else plays man to man, and Kirby Joseph just kind of gets to do what he does and make plays. Russell Dyer says he didn't practice today, so that's a good sign for us. But if he does play, he's definitely an X factor for that defense. Jack Meeker says their O-line is suspect right now. Their center, Frank Ragnow, I believe, practiced this week.
He cannot. He failed his physical.
No, not Frank Ragnow then. Graham Glasgow. Sorry.
Let's see. Limited, yes.
Yeah, he's their starting center. So I guess he's forcing his way back early because I thought he'd be out for 6 weeks with a knee injury. But after the guy that was retired failed that physical, I guess he had to cut his IR down early. I probably should have made that a key matchup between him and
and
Kenny Clark.
just so you know, with Kirby Joseph, so he was limited Monday and he did not practice today.
Okay. Yeah, when I made these, it was yesterday and he was a limited participant. So yeah, I didn't know, but if he plays, he's definitely an impact guy.
Yeah, that seems like he's kind of treading backwards there if you're going to be limited Monday and then go to DMP today. So
yeah, that's not a good sign for a guy who's on IR. You'd like to see 2 limiteds at least. So more than likely, he went out there, tested it out, had a setback today, which is a good thing for us. Last X factor. I talked about this one earlier in the show. The Lions run a lot of man coverage. And like I just mentioned, all of their corners are 5'9". I think they're going to be putting a lot of emphasis on trying to stop one or both of our big play receivers. So that's going to leave a guy like Ryan Flournoy, who's going against that team's 5th cornerback, who happens to be 5'9". I think he's going to have a chance to make a couple of big plays this week's game. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him have 40 or 50 yards this week. Just because they play a lot of man. He's a great hands catcher, good route runner. And I think there's going to be some opportunities because I think those safeties are going to have to severely help bracket Pickens and or Lamb and just force whoever the third receiver to make a play. I could have put this as a key matchup or X factor, but they have a linebacker named Jack Campbell who I believe is the only linebacker in the NFL who's rated top 5 in PFF pass grade and run defense grade. So he's really good against tight ends. He's really good against the run. 6'4", 255. One of those old school looking linebackers, but he's super athletic. I think he's going to help with the tight end. So I really think Flournoy is going to get some true one-on-one opportunities. I would say that, but Jack Campbell is really good at linebacker. He's shutting down tight ends. So I don't know necessarily. Ferg may have some chances, but Jack Campbell's really good. I almost made that one of my key matchups.
I need Ferg to have a big game.
Yeah, I agree. But I feel like it's going to be a Flournoy opportunity, or even Turpin as well. But I think Flournoy is going to be the one that's most consistently out there.
Yeah, this is my playoff push. I needed to win, and that's my numbers. Okay, don't tell me none of that.
Oh, you got Jake Ferguson as your tight end?
So yeah, I've the memorabilia room, our sister group with DC Frail, we do a league every year, and they had someone drop pretty last minute, and I said, okay, I'll jump in. I didn't want to, actually I did want to, but every time I spend quite a bit of money to play fantasy football, I tend to lose. I've got great history there. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's roll with it. And Ferguson's pulled me through quite a bit, and my backup is Hunter Henry, which of course is on a bye this week.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, I've already went through enough quarterbacks in that league because Jaden Daniels was my quarterback. And so I've already been through a nightmare, and I just have to win this week to get that fourth final playoff spot. So everybody's is either 6-7 or 7-6 with two teams. No one's locked in this league. Not one person has clinched. Everybody is basically 7-6 or 6-7. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, literally everybody. I think a couple people are like really low. I'm looking at it now. So let's see. Okay, one person is clinched. They're at 9-4. Everybody else is 7. There's 4 of us that are 7-6. The other 3 are 6-7. Literally no one has locked a position except the one guy, and it's not even that close. And I mean, he's even really close. So it's been one of those up and down leagues there. But I'd like to take it. It's got a nice cash prize, so I'd like to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. We're at an hour 13 minutes. Let's go ahead and end the show with our over-unders, and then we'll go to this giveaway. Yes. So for those of you guys who are new to the show, over-under is where I give you guys a couple of statistics, and you let me know whether you think that player will go over or under. I only have a couple because I want to get you guys out of here early. So let's go ahead and hit these over-unders.
Over-under.
First over-under. We just talked about Jameson Williams. In the last 5 games, he's either had 7 catches for over 70 yards or 0 catches for 0 yards in all 5. So over under 70 receiving yards for Jameson Williams. And just to give you guys a point of reference, Amon-Ra got hurt in the middle of last week's game. He still had 0 catches in a game that went to overtime. So there's no rhyme or reason how they do things with Jameson Williams. So let me know what you think. Over or under? Jack Meeker has under. William Wiggins has under. I'm going to go under also because I really like our corners. I think we're going to get to the quarterback. And they're inconsistent. I just hope this is one of those weeks. He had a big game against the Packers. So hopefully it keeps repeating history. Good game, bad game, good game, bad game. So we got a lot of unders. Jack Meeker says we're going to make Golf run for his life. I agree with that. If Amon-Ra isn't there, they definitely will be keying in on him, I think.
Agreed.
So, yeah, I'm going under. You going under also, Amanda?
I'm also going under. No one's had a ton of success against our corners post-trade deadline. So we're a team that needed some pressure in the front, and then the secondary falls in line behind it. So I'm going under.
Yeah, guys got healthy at the right time.
Yep.
Well, not the right time, but they finally got healthy because they could have got healthy 2 weeks earlier. We'd been a much better situation.
Right.
Russell Dyer, yeah, we talked about this earlier in the show. We put the chart up where we showed kind of what teams give us the best chance to make the playoffs, and yeah, the Eagles are at the top of the list, needing to go 3-2. Oh, while we're here, man, before we do the other over-unders, if by chance we lose one game, do you see anybody on this list who still gives us a good chance to make the playoffs?
Oh man, you don't want to ask me that.
It would have. I mean, looking at this
No.
list,
No.
we would need the Eagles to go 2-3. Everybody else have to go 1-4.
Yeah, it really stinks to even think that we could win out and still potentially miss out on the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like a little, you know what I mean? You think about you push out Overshown a little bit earlier, or Jerry could have made that trade before the deadline. He didn't have to wait. You know, you look at all these different circumstances, little things that Jerry could have done differently. But worst case scenario, we go 11 wins, don't win, don't get in the playoffs. We got a team that wants to come back hungry next year. So, because this team's only going to be better next year. I really don't see a world in which George Pickens is gone. So, this team will be only better. But I will say this, if somehow we sneak into the playoffs, I think we're the scariest team. We're that team that no one wants to beat. And at the worst, we get to play spoiler to a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
because if we made it in as the 7th seed, if all things kind of stayed equal, we would be playing the Eagles or who's the number 3 seed right now?
The Rams?
No, the Rams are the 1 seed.
Oh, I thought Seattle was the 1 seed. I guess then is it Seattle?
It would be
Or the
Seattle
Bears?
then. No,
Yeah,
no. We would play. Who are the division leaders? It's the Bears,
Bears, Eagles,
Bucks.
Seahawks.
No, the Seahawks aren't leading the division.
Oh, then the Rams.
The Rams will be the 1 seed. So, Eagles, Bears, Tampa. So it'll probably be the Bears. The Bears will be the 2 seed. Bears or the Eagles, because Tampa won't get the 2 seed. Yeah. So we play the Bears or the Eagles week 1 in the playoffs.
I hope it's the Eagles.
What's that?
I'd love for it to be the Eagles. Actually, I'd love to be the 2 seed. I like our chances better there because most likely that bumps the Eagles down to the 7th seed if they even make it.
Yeah, that's true.
Wouldn't that be something for them to have to come to our house for a playoff game?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Stumbling into the playoffs because they would be at that point.
Yeah.
I would love to get that rematch against the Bears too because
I think this team is much better. I don't think Caleb Williams is ready for playoff football.
No.
But Ben Johnson is an excellent coach, so I don't put anything, you know what I mean? That's like a Cinderella story.
But they only beat us off of a bunch of fluke throws.
Well, if you look at it, and then we also didn't have the defense we have now.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't pass on us like you can then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like that rematch. I'd take that rematch.
I would too.
But it would be at Mile High, and I do not like playing football at Mile High.
I agree with that too. But Caleb Williams doesn't like playing at Mile High either if you watch the games. So it's not like that much of an advantage. But yeah, definitely something to pay attention to. Let's go to our next over under, and it's Jahmyr Gibbs. Talked about this a minute ago. Destroyed the Packers.
Destroyed them.
And outside of that, hasn't been used consistently. Let me look at his stats the last 5 games. Kind of the same thing as Jameson Williams. So last 5 games since Dan Quinn has taken over. 9 carries, 25 yards. 15 carries, 142 yards. 9 rushes, 39 yards. 15 rushes, 219 yards. And then 20 rushes for 60 yards. So again, up and down, inconsistent. Over under 60 yards rushing for Jahmyr Gibbs. He either has 60 yards or explodes. Let's see. William Wiggins says over. Jack Meeker says under. Our front is good and linebacker play is good. Ashley has it over. So kind of splitting the comments right now. Amanda, what do you lie on this one?
Over.
Over. Okay.
Not by much. I mean, 62 is what Saquon had.
Yeah.
That 60 is a pretty middle of the road number, but I think if he breaks off a good one, probably 65, maybe between 65 and 80 would be my guess.
I think I'm right there with you. I think between 65 and 80 is a good number for him. He'll probably get one big run, and then we can kind of shut him down after that. So I agree with that as well. And then I have one more over under. Our wide receivers have been on fire the past 4 weeks. George Pickens has 2 great games. CeeDee Lamb had 1 great game, 2 bad ones, came back with another big one. So over under 100 receiving yards for either receiver. And if you say one, say which one it is. Or if it's both, say it's both. Remember, they're starting corners out. They only have one starting corner over 5'11". Everybody else is 5'9". The Lions play the most man coverage of any team in the NFL. Playing on a turf. Could be a shootout, possibly. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Over 100 yards for either receiver. Ashley Rollins says over. William Wiggins has both over. Ashley does as well. Jack Meeker also has both of them over as well. So, Amanda, what are your thoughts on this one? You think they both go over in this game?
So, I have my numbers on. I'm going to tell you right now. Both of them, I think, will be around 90 to 110 yards between both of them. CD needs to get to something to hit 1,000 yards. George is already there. And then we're 45 yards away from 1,000-yard rusher. Hasn't happened since, I think, 2009 that we've had 2 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard rusher. It might be even earlier than that. So I have some pretty bold predictions, but I expect this game to also be more difficult because they're going to be the sole focus, I think, of Dan Campbell. And I think that's going to leave, like you were talking about Flournoy, I think that's going to leave Javonte Williams a very big opportunity too, because everyone's so hyper-focused right now on stopping our passing game, they forget we've got a running game. Yep. So I really, really think that 90 to 110, so that would be where I'm at. I guess we'll say over just to be excited.
Okay. I'm leaning over. I'm trying to pull up the stats from the last time we played them. I'm going over, and I'm going Lamb because Lamb just has historically been really good against the Lions. 2023 had that huge game. Last year they blew us out of the water, but Lamb still had 7 catches for 90 yards. So I just think Lamb just turns it up a little bit for the Lions. Some guys are just good against certain teams, and I think this is the team that Lamb just likes to pick on. Javonte, Winwick said I said Javonte earlier. Jack Meeker said they'll probably use Javonte to slow down Hutchinson. That was the thing I wanted to talk about earlier in the show when I was talking about the offensive stats. Javonte Williams and his blocking was like, wow. I knew he was a good blocker, but he was eliminating guys. And I'm talking about D tackles, linebackers, safeties, whoever you brought. He was stopping guys in their tracks. I mean, he's just turned into a all-around great running back. All 3 phases. Running, blocking, receiving. All right, guys. So we're at 1:25, went a little bit more than I thought, but still a great show. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for all your questions, all your comments. We're at the last part of the show now where we will do our giveaway. So, Amanda, I'll let you take it from here. Let the people just know a little bit about what you're going to give away, and you can ask the trivia question.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So This is just a little bit of Cowboy swag. We're doing so well. We're on a 3-game winning streak. It's the biggest streak of the season. So, in order to celebrate that, and just in general, just to celebrate because the team's really turned it around. So, that's what we're going to win. Just a little few things. I've got several things I keep around the house, and I'm going to give them away. I'm going to make you a little gift box and send it your way and call it a Christmas gift from DC Frill and a thank you for supporting the fifth quarter. So, are we ready for the question?
All right.
Okay.
Let the people know what the question is. I'll type in the comments, and the first person who answers the questions in the comments will win the prize. So basically, whoever can Google the fastest will be the winner.
Okay. In 1960, there were 2 quarterbacks that started for the Dallas Cowboys. Which 2 quarterbacks was that? Do, 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 do. A little Jeopardy music. Let's
One
see.
name I'm sure everybody will know. The
Yep.
other one's going to take a little bit more research, we'll call it. So, who were the first 2 starting quarterbacks for the Cowboys in the 60s? The first person who answers the question correctly gets the Cowboy swag. So, while people look this up, we'll go through the rules again quickly. So first of all, if you are the winner, you must contact Amanda within 72 hours. We do expect to win this week. So if we do, Amanda will be back next Wednesday for our matchup against the Chargers. So we'll be doing that giveaway over again if you don't contact Amanda within 72 hours. We do ask that whoever wins is a Cowboys fan. We don't want to have an outsider fan getting our swag and burning it or doing something stupid. We do request that whoever wins, please follow the DC4L Facebook and YouTube channels, as well as the Bluff City Cowboys YouTube. And this was a little bit outdated, but you have to give Facebook permission so we can see your name. So let's see. I got a couple of comments. Let's see if somebody got the answer right. Russell Dyer says Roger Staubach and Craig Morton. I think you got to go back a little bit further than that, Russell Dyer. William Wiggins says Barron and Meredith. LeBaron.
That's correct. That's correct.
It? LeBaron and Meredith?
Eddie LeBaron and Don Meredith are the 2 we were looking for.
All right. Russell Dyer kept going back in time a little bit more, but he was almost there.
Almost there.
You probably needed one more guess and you would have got it. So congratulations, William Wiggins, LeBaron and Meredith. Congrats on winning the Cowboy swag. Like we said before, contact Amanda within 72 hours with your full name, email address. Just hit her DMs on Facebook. Find her after the show. If you're in the DC4L group, which I think you are, she's easy to find.
Pretty easy to find out there. Everybody knows where to find me, even the Dallas Cowboys, which is so fun to think about still. And you know what? Just real quick on that note, I feel very led to say this. Our fan of the year from this year, who has taken the reins from me from 2024, his name's Tom Gibson. He has never missed a home game since 1999. 1999. But it's like 500 games, and he doesn't have social media or nothing. So go to the fan of the year website like you did for me last year and vote for Tom. He definitely needs it, guys. Go vote for Tom Gibson as fan of the year. Let's get a Cowboys in there. So
the fact that he went through those 5 and 11 years and those 8 and 8 years and not missed a game is a feat within itself.
And the way they surprised him was really cool. So every season ticket holder has a rep. Because I talked to him on the phone because I got so every fan of the year, just so y'all know, has a representative with the Cowboys. So I have a representative with the Cowboys that I can message at any time. If I want to go to events, I just message them and let them know. So I messaged my rep because I couldn't find him online, and he was like, he said, yeah, let me get your number. He doesn't do social media. So I knew then, clearly it was probably an older gentleman. And I got to talk to him on the phone for about 30 minutes. That dude is a legend. But I'm trying to get him to get online. I'm trying to convince him to join Facebook. I'm like, you got to join it. We got a whole group for fans of the year. But he's super nice. So y'all go vote for him. 500 games. That's insane to never miss one. Yeah. But they surprised him by his representative for the season tickets called him. and told him, it's your 500th game. We're going to do the fan of the game for you. So he knew he was getting this fan of the game thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And then they drug him on the field, much like they did me. I knew what was going on because I'd already been told I'd won, but he didn't. So the poor guy just got drug out there and surprised at the beginning of the game. But he's super cool. So definitely worthy of a vote. Anyone who goes through, like you said, those 5-11, 8-8 years, that's a long time to be a fan. So
yeah, never seen an NFC Championship game during that time period.
I'm hopeful. I know he's been a fan a long time, but like hopefully, like he said, I just want now this thing. He's been to 5 Super Bowls. He's already been to 5 Super Bowls, which is crazy, but never with the Cowboys.
Oh,
never with the Cowboys. Just had seen, they travel all over the country too, so
okay,
it's pretty nifty. So y'all go vote for him. It's my little soapbox.
Yeah. You also definitely make sure you guys go out and vote for the Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year. That's pretty much all we have for this week's show. Tuesday night show had a lot of views, so a lot of comments, a lot of questions. So thank you guys for rocking with us on a Tuesday night. Next week we should be back on our regularly scheduled program, so you can join us Wednesday at 8:30 Central Standard Time for the Fifth Quarter Podcast. We should be celebrating another Victory Wednesday, 4-game winning streak against the Detroit Lions, and we'll be looking ahead to next week's matchup, which I believe will be against the LA Chargers. Correct?
Is it Chargers
or is the Vikings? I think it's the Chargers before the Vikings. I'm almost sure,
somewhere around there.
But yeah, so we're gonna hopefully keep the streak alive. If we win, you guys will see Amanda back. We'll probably have another prize.
Yeah,
going into the holiday season, so gonna be in a giving mood here. So be sure to stick with us. Join us every Wednesday, 8:30 Central Standard Time. Continue to follow, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Continue to motivate us because you guys are what fuel the Fifth Quarter Nation. Thank you for everybody who has been with us so far tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully look forward to a great game on Thursday. And as always, let's go Cowboys. We will see you guys next week. Amanda, any closing words before we get out?
No, thank you for having me, and hope to see y'all again next week.
All right, guys, have a good night.
Let's go Cowboys.